They have no right making a strategy game, like a turn-based strategy game with 8 directional action segments have a banger soundtrack like this, but here we are. Anyways, 3, 2, 1. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. It is a Biendeo stream today on this fine 23rd of June 2025. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and we'll have a wonderful week ahead of you. I am not holding my controller right now. There it is. I found it. There it is. But yeah, no, my week has been relaxing. There's a wave of relax all of a sudden, and I think it's because we have gotten past the solstice, the cold parts of the year. It's hopefully going to get warm from here on out. Anyways, let's hop into it before this 1 minute, 1 minute track moves over. Here we go. Whoop. There we go. Woo. And, but yeah, no, last week on Dragon Quest 3, for playing Dragon Quest 3, we've got all the orbs, and we've found our way towards, we've got a bit of a flying dragon as well, and we've found our way towards Baramos' castle, where Baramos proceeds to kick my butt real hard. And, we're probably gonna grind a bit at the beginning here, because I did some looking up. I was like, nah, man. Am I doing something really, really wrong? And there's a couple of things. I've written down as well all the items that I currently have in my inventory. But just as a heads up, Nyx is level 22 and used to be a thief. And Rags is level 21 and used to be a jester and sort of changed at level 20. But Air and Biendeo are both level 26, and obviously Biendeo as the hero will never change classes, but Air, at level 26 as the cleric, has always been level 26 and a cleric. And I've always found Air to have kind of bad vitality, like it's never really worked out. Turns out, nearly everything I see says you should be fighting Baramos in the mid-level 30s. You should probably be at least level 34 for your cleric to get heal all, because that will be incredibly useful. And I'm like, yeah, sure, yeah. But on top of that, I was like, are there any items and stuff do I need? And the only thing I can really, like, pick upon is, I need something that resists breaths. Whoops. Because there's a couple of things. You've got some armors that actually do reduce the damage dealt from I have some. You're not seeing this right now, by the way, but I have some ridiculous screen tearing going on. I've got some tech stories I want to discuss in a little bit, but the screen tearing is going to drive me nuts personally, but it's not going to drive you nuts. But yeah, I was looking up, like, okay, what items might I need? You know, do I need to pick up something to help me out? And there's the breath armors. So in particular, Air is currently rocking the plush tunic. And the plush tunic is certainly not the tunic to, you know, be using, I guess. We'll say that. There's way better that I could get. But other than that, the only other thing I can really think of, and I actually might do the, I guess the swapping right now. Let's discuss what I've currently got on hand. So a lot of my, I guess, fumblings, we'll just say, with how I play this game is because I'm very used to the Dragon Quest 4 and onwards, particularly the remakes. I actually don't think it's in the NES version for 4. But that naming scheme. So I'm always like, oh, you know, instead of defense, I see Kasap. I see something that drains the defense of everyone, but which is better than Sap. Yeah, defense doesn't exactly like scream that out to me. Same thing with you know, a lot of these items. It's sort of like, oh, which one's which? Like, which one means stuff? And I think there's a couple of things that I want to really let's just change. So first of all, I know in my bag I've got toughness. This is the tough, I don't know actually what the toughness is, but toughness gives you 10 vitality. Now, I will equip it, and this will unequip the Well, there's the Misery Headgear. We're not equipping that. This will unequip the Tiara. The Tiara is 13 luck. I think I need Vitality a bit more than luck. So I'm going for that on Rags. Now, Air's got the Starry Ring. The Starry Ring actually hard doubles your agility, which makes it kind of immensely useful. I've got the I want to do the tattoo. I've got the Punk Ring, which gives 10 agility. I think I could probably rock with the tattoo. So wherever the tattoo has gone, here it is. Let's give that to Nyx instead. So there's that. Biendeo has the Hero Ring, and the Hero Ring gives 15 attack, which is very nice. So the tattoo is 8 attack. I feel like that's probably a bit more desirable than having the agility, but we'll see. We'll see. For helmets, I think I've actually got everyone using basically the best thing. So 2 silver tiaras, the Iron Mask is really good, and the Ortega helmet is great. The Dragon Shield is certainly really good, but just as a note, the Dragon Shield cannot be equipped by Air or Rag, so there's not really any, I wish I could actually use it on them. They both have a magic shield, and that actually I think is the best thing to have. But also, yeah, Rags has a magic armor, and I think this actually is the best armor, and Air can also equip one. So I do want to go out of my way and go buy a magic armor. I think I can get it from Lancel, so I'll do that once I've got a bit more money. The other thing as well is weapons. Now, I was like, I needed to really look this up, and I'll actually start using this in battle, but the Thunder Sword, actually if you use it, casts Boom. And that's really nice and useful. Unfortunately, the main character probably wants to always wield that. And also in the boss fight, doesn't matter a ton because you really want to deal a lot of damage on one character. So Boom doesn't really give you any more leeway there. But it's nice for the characters who usually can't attack. Also, it's nice in battles like this, because then it's like, oh look, I can hit both of them, and it actually does a decent amount of damage. For Air, I'm currently holding onto the Mace Whip, which is the only whip equipable by clerics. And there are way better whips, for example, the Steel Whip, which currently Rags has. Oh, nice, by the way. Every whip can be equipped by the Sage, so I guess in theory I could rock more whips with the Sage, but I can actually equip the Orochi Sword, which arguably may be a bit more targeted, we'll say. So I actually want to probably equip that right now. At least I think the Orochi Sword can be equipped. Who's holding on to the Orochi Sword? There it is. Yeah, Rags can somehow equip this, which is actually quite incredible. And the Orochi Sword also casts Defense, which is our Kasap ability. So that actually makes it quite nice. But yeah. Obviously, much more damage, but it only hits one target as opposed to the whip. Well, I feel like at this point in the game, I probably, we're not getting large groups in this dungeon. And the reason why I'm idling around in this dungeon is because we've got the chance of the liquid metal slime and, I guess having lots of experience come my way. Because seriously, like, the more liquid metal slimes, that'd be really nice. Nyx is currently holding onto the Demon Axe, which is an insanely good weapon. The catch-22 on the axe is that it has an 8th chance of dealing a crit, which actually is sort of the thing I was alluding to way yonders ago about how to fight the metal slimes, getting a crit is actually the best thing you could get. It has an 8th chance of getting crits, which is very nice, but also there's an 8th chance of missing. So I see this and I go, ooh. Let me at him, let me at him. Okay, I did one hit. With Nyx as well, which was actually kind of interesting. I even took off the agility item and still. But yeah. Given that, the crit chance might mean insane amounts of damage. The missing is kind of annoying, but... Also, I think this blade armor is actually the best thing for the main character as well, and the terror armor for Nyx. I don't really think there's anything too exotic to get in that mix. Yeah, I could cast Boom, but the the main character just damage from Biendeo is insane. I don't know, to me it's like the base damage of the Demon Axe is so good that I feel like the chance of missing, offset by the chance of dealing even more amazing damage, is like, well, it seems to do fairly well, does it not? So, but yeah, we're gonna need some levels here. Rags is also gonna gain some other abilities. Which one is Twin Hit? I don't know. Sounds like it attacks twice. But yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it's like, well, the only thing I really need to buy is, like, changing to the sword is better, although at the end of the day, how often am I going to be using the swords? Because that's the other one as well. It's like, I was looking up, like, what's a good attack for, or good item for air. There's the Loon Staff, or the, yeah. But I don't really know if I'm ever going to be attacking with air, so I'd probably just say, nah, no point there. That's an example, by the way, where the breath defense would actually help a little bit as well, those kinds of attacks. Obviously, in the boss fight, Baramos was spamming some real gnarly attacks. Breath is weird. I think spells usually deal very flat amounts of damage, so the more health that you can get, the better. Also, as well, once you hit, and I think, let me just double check, but the last, like, ability for a cleric, although I might probably, I'm not too sure if I'd stick with the cleric or I'd keep going on, but the last ability for a cleric is actually, this would also be another, let's have a go at going on with this. But the last ability for a cleric, so yeah, there's a Heal All at level 34, there's Cuss Swoosh at level 36, that's not the real name, I think it's, what is it called? Infirmost. There's Revive at level 38, which is actually really useful, because that's a guaranteed bring back to full health. Uses a ton of magic, but it's actually kind of nice. And then Sacrifice at 41, which is kind of like, oh, whatever. like, it is, you know, it does a lot of damage, but it kills you. It's like, oh, okay, like, why? So, but I'm not even there yet. We're at, like, you know, level 26. So we've still got other abilities to even get, and including, as well, I'm pretty sure one of the abilities is Barrier, which is literally what you would want to set up with, because then that prevents the breath attacks. This is a clunky battle as well, isn't it? Rags can back me up with a Heal All here. Or Heal More, wherever it's gone. I can't read. Oh, I guess I didn't need it. Okay. But at the very least, like, the enemies here give quite a fair bit of experience anyways. So even if I'm not getting, you know, even if I'm not getting the liquid metal slimes all the time, just the regular enemies should help me get along here. And then yeah, we'll buy that armor. Stop having Air in a little cat costume. Man, one day I'll get one of them. Oh well. But yeah, that seems to be the plan for the moment, which is a little bit odd. I guess I play a lot of older RPGs here, but it is always a bit of a downer when an RPG just kicks you in the face with you don't have the stats or the numbers. And honestly, like, I don't particularly feel like I'm missing anything. I could go back for items, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, well, my main goal is I want to push forward and push through the, you know, the adventure here. And in order to do that, I have hit the hard wall of this boss do be hitting too hard. I'm actually going for the Hollow Ghost first, because I know he can just kill the whole party in one go, and preferably he's not the one to do that. So, but yeah, like, it always bums me a little bit when, you know, when there is that, and I feel like it is particularly a thing with older RPGs, but it's not always a thing with older RPGs. I've definitely found that with like I'm currently, I've mentioned it a few times, but I've been working through Xenosaga Episode 2, which currently hasn't hit me too hard with something. Although I did fight a really annoying boss in the mechs just an hour ago, just before the stream, because it had these abilities to sort of like counter what you were doing, and I think it was based on like how much health you had, because if you didn't heal up, it wouldn't like reflect your attacks back. It was very odd. But yeah, I have not felt that game to be, I mean, too blocky, too tricky. I have a lot of gripes with Xenosaga Episode 2, but its difficulty doesn't seem to be too wildly off the mark, and I actually, part of me feels like I like how the bosses don't throw you so off that it's like, oh, like, what's going on there? But then, on the other hand, it's like, well, you know, compared to the first game, is the game a fair bit easier? I'm not too sure. I actually feel that, like, my problem with Xenosaga 2 so far, and maybe I'll reserve some judgment until I hit the very end of the game, but the strat that I've started the game with is also the strat that I'm ending the game with, and I'm not too sure if, I'm exactly playing it right, but whatever I was doing before, which is having 3 characters all with healing abilities, and effectively, like, just a mixture of, the attack types. I'm using Momo, Cosmos, and Chaos as my main lineup. No one else earns skill points when they're not in the main fight, and that always puts me at a little bit of worry, because it's like, well, everyone has experience, but they don't have the stat points. That means the fundamental, like, having just some abilities that you want to use for healing or something like that. It's like, oh, sometimes it's not on your character, and it's like, oh. But yeah. I'll let you know how that one goes all the way. The other one was also Phantasy Star 4, which, kind of came out close-ish to this game. Maybe not like... this one probably came out a decent bit before, but it is kind of interesting, because it's just, I don't know, they're close enough in the time period, but yeah, Phantasy Star 4 did not have grinding. Oh, no, we're good. Phantasy Star 4 did not have grinding, and I was very happy about that. Again, top-notch RPG. Definitely go give it a play. But yeah, I'd probably say the best ones are the ones that don't have, that don't have the grinding, that balance out that amount of, how much experience are you meant to get, and then how much are you, like, actually going through. I think later Dragon Quest, and especially maybe the DS remakes, sort of refine this a lot more, but they have this very nice balance where, just like, how often do enemies appear on average, and then how much experience does the average enemy give, and you perform that maths, and you sort of run that through the game. Does that help you, like, are you ready for the boss if, all those averages played out? And the answer is always yes. Always. It really works out nicely. As long as you're not running away from every single fight, you will generally be a good level. So, yeah, I think that's the strat, that's the plan. Games need to do that. Oh, he's spewing fire. Nyx is certainly gaining a ton of health, though, I'll tell you that. I also like how Stop Spell doesn't actually stop casting item spells, which is nice. Yeah, geez, like 60 damage on everyone is like, whew, it's good stuff. Well, at least when it hits them, but yeah, that's something for another day, so. But yeah, I haven't had too much of playing, though, this week. A little bit. I have been playing stuff, but I've definitely been tinkering and I guess finishing up. So the big one that I spent this past week doing was I was really on good momentum for SingStar Party, and 2 days ago, on Saturday, I finally was done, and I released it, and there's one guy playing it, so thank you very much, one guy. Also, thank you very much for dealing with me, because of course, you release a set, and obviously, it's got a fundamental problem. Everyone likes a good old fundamental problem, so, but yeah, it's done the 30 achievements in the main set, 30 songs in the main set. How many was it? 55 across the other 4 releases. Yeah, it was generally like not a tricky set in terms of like what I wanted to put into it, but definitely I think trying to do both the regional subsets and the main game all in one go means you have to somehow figure out how does the game work internally, is there anything to note, anything tricky there, and then apply that 5 times while also doing like I guess like, yeah, icons, titles, tracking the memory for every single one of these releases. It's a fair bit of work, and I'm actually not too sure if this strategy should be employed for future titles, because I found out SingStar Pop, which is the next release, yeah, it's got, I think it's a total of 126 songs across all the regions, so 30 in the main game yet again, and also 96 across all the other regions, and I'll put an asterisk on that as well, because someone's gonna go, oh, is it really 126? I thought it was more. I thought it was more as well. I'll get into that. On top of that, SingStar 80s, not SingStar Pop, but SingStar 80s. Actually, no, SingStar Pop also. Yeah, SingStar Pop also gets into this kind of clunky area where there's so the weird part about SingStar Party is that the Spanish version had 24 like unique songs in it. It was nearly an entirely unique game. SingStar Pop has, in the Spanish version, has 28 original songs. And that's good fun. So it's nearly a full new set. But the French version, despite there being like 9 different regional versions of SingStar Pop, because it starts coming out in other places as well, the French version is exactly the same. It actually has the track ordering slightly reworked for some reason. Not reworked, but it's got 2 songs near the end. I think it's got like the Clash under the instead of Clash. So I want to kill my metal slime, but I've got these ghosts, and this could mean bad news bears if I don't deal with it, but I really want to kill the slime. He's casting beat, so... Stone Man. I'm just going for it, man. I don't care. Of course. Of course. It was because I hesitated. That's what it was. As long as no one dies from a crit, or from a beat here, then I'll be slightly more okay. But yeah, the other weird part as well. So not only is the English version and the French version the same, there's a second English version. There's SingStar Pop World. I think, was it called Pop World? Yeah. There's SingStar Pop World, released exclusively for England, and it's the same game. Again, I can't explain why. I would probably say, for reference as well, and I haven't gone through every single SingStar game, so this starts again to the tricky part of how do you figure out which games actually line up based on, if the names keep changing all the time. Do you have to go through every single disc of SingStar in order to figure out which ones share songs? And I think the general rule of wisdom that I've got is the release order. So the Sony publishing label. Now this is a fight I could get behind. I think we've had a fight like this before as well, but... Alright, so we've got 1 damage on A here, by the way. He's gonna spew fire, that's gonna kind of get a little bit annoying, but... You know, whatever, we'll deal with it. Oh, he's also gonna cast fire here. Ah. Okay, D's fled, but we still dealt damage to A. We dealt 2 damage to A. That doesn't fill me with much confidence. Alright, B's still chilling. A's still chilling. A's had 3 damage. A's had 4 damage. Biendeo can't hit A. Oh, can't hit any of these. Ah, there's Blizzard. That's painful. Because that means I'm gonna have to take, yeah, I'm gonna have to do a heal more in order to lift this, and I worry they're gonna run out of this one. Also, if that mage does cut, oh, that's the one I dealt all the damage to, just ran. Okay, now I hit one, but... I don't think he's about to... Yeah, okay. Look at that. It's like... I tried so hard. I need a crit on them, apparently. But... Oh well. But yeah, no. I've generally been going with the release tag, the publishing ID, because usually they increment in the right order. So they'd always start with SCES. I don't know what the E... I assume the E means European, because you'll have SLUS for US releases. None of these came out in Japan, so I haven't exactly looked into any of that. I don't imagine any of them did. But yeah, for the most part, like, the first SingStar is a little weird, but afterwards, they all released in, you know, virtually the same amount of time. You wouldn't usually get, like, weird regional versions kicking in too late, or at least too far between releases, so that seems okay for the moment. For the moment. I don't know, we'll get into that in a little bit. How much is the... I can't afford the magic armor just yet. It's 5,800, it's a bit, so... More grinding! I mean, we've gotten decent amount of progress, and by decent I mean like 1 level. We'll get there. We'll get there. Might as well save just in case. You never know. You never know. Seriously, the liquid metal slime would be just a nice, you know, freebie level. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it. But yeah, so... Yeah, complication number 2. This is not with SingStar Pop, I think, other than the fact that, you know, like, you have 3 versions that you'll need to handle for the primary set and then just handle all the other ones. It's still okay. It's still okay. SingStar 80s, which is then the next release, does one slightly trickier thing, and that is 2 of the regional versions. I believe the Spanish version, weirdly, for SingStar 80s is exactly the same as well as the English release. So, despite spamming all these extra songs in the in SingStar Party and SingStar Pop, none. They got none. They got no extra ones in 80s, which is interesting. But yeah, 2 of the releases share the same exclusive song, which means whoever, again, might be me in some amount of time, but whoever writes that set needs to look out for this extra, you know, the song appearing in 2 sets. You can't just say, oh, like, play this certain version. It's like, I'll never be able to get these guys. You can't say, oh, just play this certain version. It's like, oh, no, you have to... You could potentially play either of them. And a part of me feels maybe the easiest way to do the whole set is to actually expect, you know, really any disc or any region, and then just like chart out what's all the songs in there, and then write the achievements such that they, I guess, deduplicate all the extra songs, which is probably possible. I think you can do that logic in the achievement code, so, or not the achievement code, but RA script, so there's that. Complication number 3. So SingStar, the original one, and SingStar Party were pretty simple. It's just the European release and then 4 regional releases. There's obviously way more. I'm glad that Boom hit absolutely no one, by the way. There's more releases for the future games, at least for a chunk of them. It starts to die down eventually, and then obviously you'll get ones like SingStar Latino, which only came out in Spain and Portugal. And this is where the complication comes in, and the US, because we start getting into US releases. And a part of me went, oh, okay, well, usually the Retro Achievements mantra is the US version would usually be the primary version. And then, you know, European ones, I guess, would be, oh, this is about to make Rag sore. Or maybe not, okay. But still, ouch. Seriously, these guys, oh my gosh, another one! I think this is like the first fight. I'm gonna do a console reset, so hold on for a hot second. Whoop. Oh, look at that, nothing happened. But wow. Wow, that was an incredible just getting taken out, mostly because I was very, I don't know. I was like, how do I reason with what just happened there? I'm like, I think I just got very unlucky with the boom at the beginning, because that really should have been a little bit of extra damage. Did I miss a hit in the middle with Nyx as well? I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't exactly counting there, but yeah, given that I think I had done one fight beforehand, so I really didn't lose more than like 3 or 2 minutes of progress just then. That was not particularly big or eventful, but how very odd. But yeah, so I thought, oh, okay, well, you know, we'll support the US release when we get there. And there does exist a SingStar Pop that came out in the US, and there does exist a SingStar 80s that came out in the US. Now, this is where we start getting into the whole how, like, what exactly makes a set. Because the way that this was originally working was that you would have the 30 songs in the European or the English release of some kind, and then there would be a subset, at least so far I've done with the other two, and that seems to be a decent way to cover it, to cover every single other song that appears in any other release of that game. Now, what counts as a release of that game starts to get a little more subjective, especially when you have ones that share menu music or potentially some other songs, but it's like, where do you draw the line? SingStar NRJ Tour, or NRJ Music Tour in France, clearly is SingStar Party. It shares 18 of the songs, and it came out right between every other SingStar Party release. So that one makes it quite clear. But what happens when SingStar Pop in the US is actually the third SingStar US in the release, after SingStar Rocks and SingStar Amped, I think? Was it Amped? So it's like, oh, okay. This release actually came out after various other ones, and on top of that, it clearly came out a year and a half or maybe even 2 years after the European releases, because it contains songs that came out in 2006 that wouldn't have existed for a year and a bit you know, by the time the European release came out. And on top of that, they don't just stop at adding songs that couldn't be in the original release, they add songs that were in older European releases. So For example, there was one. What's one off the top of my head? I did see this one's off the top of my head, but for SingStar 80s in the US, it has Culture Club. Do You Really Want to Hurt Me in the listing, and that song is in the German version of SingStar Party. So in theory, I've already covered it. In theory, it's done. But someone might go by and go, oh, you know, like I'm gonna do all these other songs. So I took it upon myself to start at least putting in every game and just writing down what's the songs in there, and then using I'm using Viz.js, or I'm technically using PyViz, which generates Viz.js, to sort of visualize the grouping. And when you draw out every song so far, at least I'm 5 games in, I've done all the ones, at least the first 5. So SingStar, then SingStar Party, Pop, 80s, and then SingStar Rocks. Sorry. Once I've done, I did that. If you don't count the US releases, you get 5 distinct bubbles. I've actually also done SingStar Latino, just as a curious point. So I've got 6 distinct bubbles. 6 main kind of what I would call a game, especially because they all share the same title. And they all have distinct songs. No one shares a song between those sets. So that makes that nice and simple. Now, some games have all the same songs as another game. It only seems to be, you know, like, primary release. Like, it's the English release, and then it was like, yeah, one other one. It was like, oh, okay, kind of intriguing, but sure. Then you add the US release, and you suddenly start getting lots and lots of weird references all around. You get the US releases picking songs from potentially even 4 of those 5. There's another miss with the boom. I wonder what the hit rate with boom is. Blizzard is not fun. Especially when 2 of them cast that. That's so cruel. See, if I had a heal all, this would make this a lot easier. That's a... I'm getting out before that gets, like, too dubious, I tell ya. The worst part is, those guys do not give that much money. They're very frugal. For themselves, I guess. Not for me. So... my gut feeling, and this will be something I'll run by, I guess, dev compliance, because it will be an interesting scenario. But my gut feeling is that if we continue going through and charting and plotting out every single other release of SingStar, just like what songs are in each one, I think what we'll potentially find is that none of the European releases, at least outside, you know, they all have their own kind of major release, and here's all the regional variants, and none of those groups will intersect with any other group. They won't share songs. It'll be nice and simple, but then the US releases throw it off, and the US releases are doing all this other stuff, and they came out later, and so I think the easier thing to do would be to only do the US sets as separate, like... how would I put it? The US, I don't know. To me, because the other problem, though, is that obviously if it's like, oh, you know, are you missing any content? The answer is yes. There are some songs that only appear in the US versions. Partially because maybe they came out just later. They, like, that was how it was. What a fun thing to cast at the very beginning of this battle, by the way. I would like to run. No, don't you dare. Oh, okay. That's just a bit mean. Come back to life. There you go. But yeah, so, yeah, there's gonna be tricky kind of aspects for, future devs, for anyone sort of picking up, like, you know, like, what game do I want to do? I think the easy ones are legit. Pick the games that just seem like there only is going to be one release. SingStar The Wiggles is probably the very easy pick. I get really worried about these guys casting beat all the time. I tell ya. And then other than that, yeah, good luck for anyone who picks the other big ones, which potentially might just be me again. Not next. I do want to do another set next, but certainly it's been a decent experience, and I don't know, SingStar is like not exactly a particularly deep or I guess it emulates a bit oddly as well. Like, it's great that the microphones work with the system, but it sucks that there's such a delay. Like, even if you adjust it, it's like it's a proper quarter of a second, and it does really make it a lot harder to play along. Gosh, I hate that they suck all the magic out of rags as well, all the time. Does make it really tricky to play along. I think you have to kind of preemptively sing in front of the notes. And if you're good at that, you will be able to play these achievement sets, but if not, hopefully they fix this. I think there's naturally going to be a delay, but if we can somehow get it... I feel like there's potential to get that delay really, really low. It might involve some insane... kind of cycle times, especially because you're polling... I don't know how USB microphones actually work, or even audio devices in general on Windows work, but I think there's got to be some way to reduce your buffer window such that you can start getting to ACO levels of, like, latency. And I feel like there has to be a way to do that, not even within... Like, because I assume what they're using is either X Audio or Direct Audio or SDL, maybe? Actually, I don't think they're using SDL audio. I'm not too sure how, how they're getting interface. Or maybe it's just like an OS thing. Maybe they're just like, we have the Linux implementation, we have a Mac implementation, we have a Windows implementation. We just go for whichever one makes sense. Maybe that is what they're doing there. Da 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 da. Well, we're at 28, so I think once I get the multi-heal, we'll definitely... I could probably spend the money as well while we're at it, so let's just do that. So I believe I had to go to Lancel, and it was at the shop at Lancel. Hi there. I hate this shop because this guy is always in the way. Just move up. Okay, but stuff it would get out of his way. But yeah, he's got the... Yeah, not the magic robe, the magic armor. Which will be just that tad bit more useful for air. And we shall return to Dharma and give us another rest. But yeah, I feel a little bit of onus just because I know someone did look at SingStar, the original, well before I had gotten to it, but I'm not too sure how much they looked into any of the other stuff, the other releases later on. A part of me is still kind of worried as well, so when I released my set, thank you, this person found out, oh no, all my addresses were 80 bytes later for some reason, or all the heap addresses were 80 bytes later, and I can't explain exactly how it's set up that way. Because, like, to me, it's like, oh, well, the game, you put it in, and it initializes everything, so I can't understand how the game initializes it differently, unless your BIOS was different and it decided to implement and load things differently, but it doesn't seem to be the case. It's not like there's any, like, content it has to load. I guess it loads the memory card. Is that, like, can that throw it off? I don't know. But it did find a pointer that points towards the heap space stuff that I needed in order to make it work, so that was nice afterwards to find that out. But a part of me always gets a bit worried because it's like, well, the best value to use is the one that is actively being read and written to. If you find something that coincidentally points to it, unless you can reverse the code and also go, well, okay, that does get read and written here, so it makes sense. Kind of seems like a bit of sheer luck. And this was a bit of sheer luck. Because this one address is in a space that I feel like is more stack base. It's lower than other places, but it's definitely not the lowest memory addresses I've been holding on to. Yeah, I look at the... Well, I can't exactly disassemble it very easily because almost all of SingStar's code is loaded in at runtime and then sort of called through function pointer city. Everything is a function pointer. So your static analysis absolutely struggles there. Maybe I could acquire a bit more skill in working on that kind of stuff. I know, like, I've got an okay amount of Ghidra knowledge to, you know, to get there, to understand what's going on, and even sort of understanding some of the MIPS logic, such that I know which instructions I'm looking for to go, okay, well, this register is loaded in with this, and then we do the offsets like this. Like, that's how we get there. There's so much pointer code as well, so you're always doing like a load word where you're using a pointer and an offset base, which MIPS is great at. MIPS is great at doing that all the time, so the more games on the PS2 should naturally be using pointers everywhere, because that's just how it's implemented. That's just how it works. But yeah, like I was like, yeah, okay, well, the difficulty is written here, and I look at the code and it comes from this pointer. Okay, I look at the code and it comes from... So that, for reference, the pointer going towards the difficulty, I then found another pointer looking at that. And that was the relatively stable one. So that's why I didn't catch it before, because I'd have to know that the difficulty was under a pointer to begin with. So that's always fun. I mean, I knew it was under a pointer because it was in the heap space, but you know, like, where does the pointer start? Who knows? You just need to, like, well, you would know if you're using the pointer finder and your pointer moves around, or your value moves around, then you can figure that out. But yeah, my problem was that it wasn't exactly made clear, like, where the root of that, you know, pointer is. The easier thing to do is to reverse the code, figure out the actual offset it was doing at that very point in time, and then you can go from there, because that means you're using a pointer right there. Now, sometimes your pointer is awkwardly, I guess, within another structure, but really it's just like, okay, pointer, offset, pointer, offset, pointer, offset. It's just a chain. You just have to follow it. So I tried following it. I'd follow the disassembly, and we go, okay, every time it loads an address, like, you know, we've got the value I'm looking for, where, like, what was the offset, and then where was that stored, and then we follow that. We keep doing that again and again and again. And I got 8 levels up, and I couldn't figure this out. I was like, where is this happening? I'm just constantly going through chains after chains. Everything is in heap space. Everything is just pointer after pointer. It's pointing all over the place. I'm not too sure what's going on there. So a part of me doesn't have full confidence in the set, because I actually don't know what the memory I've been reading is. I know that it's been working really well, including ones like the song state being, you know, like this weird enum value, but I'm like, yeah, you know, like, it works, I guess. So at least I'm confident there, but why does it work? I'm not too sure. Maybe it's asking a bit too much. But yeah. So we'll leave it there. The soft, please. Oh! We got 3 deaths. Can we just snag the kills? No. I just wanna live. That's another song in one of the later games. Actually, I think it is in pop, so... There you go. Can I just get out of this one? Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. I don't think I've ever seen beat actually work, but defeat, you know, like that was 3 people. That's fun. That's absolute fun. The worst part is that I actually don't know if I could revive everyone. Seriously, that's an expensive trip. The silver lining is that I don't actually think I'll need to be buying anything. Actually, maybe. It's 2G. We don't fry your electronics. Anyways, but yeah, I'll pick up another game at some point in the very short future. Yeah, 730 just for one character here. Why is it 730? Well, I'm probably going to need to wander around outside for a moment. Which I guess is a good experience for these two. I know the enemies here give decent amounts of money, so at least it's that. And they're probably gonna... yeah, they're not doing that much damage anymore. $55 actually wasn't that high, was it? Let me actually double check. What would be good enemies for money? There we go. I know there's the goodie bag in the cave. Yeah, that's probably it, yeah. Yeah, definitely the goodie bag. There's a bunch of enemies not in this area. Like, there's a lot of, I mean, even later game ones, and it's like, yeah, they definitely give much more money than these guys. Yeah, the trolls also, actually. Actually, it's weird that all the enemies in Baramos' castle are much lower on the amount of money they give compared to the yeah, compared to the... Also, I don't know why I'm like I only need to revive air because then I can use air to revive everyone else. So I don't know why I'm like scrounging up that much money. I'm just like, just revive everyone and then go from there. So oh well. Anyway, that was my SingStar. I will not talk about SingStar for a while because I'm very SingStar'd out, but we got there. I'll dive a bit more into the remaining songs. I might have a nice little chart to show off at the end, but at the end of the day, it's like, this is purely for someone's future reference, and then, like, how do you frame these achievement sets? Also, someone's already hashed, like, various US releases, so I'm probably gonna have a bit of a discussion on, like, you know, is that gonna be the way forward? But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, other than that, yeah, the other games I've been playing have been pretty chill. I've been mostly focusing on that, and just decent chip-aways at Xenosaga, and a little bit of Shining Force 2. Which, Shining Force 2 is, I'm terrible at these games, apparently. They keep kicking my butt real hard. Well, it's not too bad, but I always worry that it's like, should certain characters be as weak as they are? And, I've forgotten his name, but the rat guy. The guy who causes everything in the first place. But I find he is so ridiculously weak. He barely deals damage. Like, he constantly keeps dealing 1 or 2 damage to enemies, and then he gets 1 or 2 experience back. And it's like, how are you meant to level up like this? See, at least the healer, you know, has the heal. You know, you have to get your experience through that. But, like, you can only attack, and you're not doing it very well. So I don't know, he might be first to go once my party gets too big. That's a bit of a shame. For the most part, though, I'm actually finding a lot of great success out of every other character, so that's really nice. Because I kind of felt my biggest hurdle in the first game was my main character was so ridiculously weak that I couldn't really get anywhere with them, and I was like, well, you have to be in the party because you're the main character, but also the game ends if you die, so I sort of just left the main character to the very safe kills at the end. I still feel like it was leveling up, but he'd just constantly get, like, you know, like, he'd take way more damage than, he'd take way more damage than everyone else, and it's like, why is he like this? And as a note as well, Shining Force does not have armor. It has 4 inventory slots, and the inventory slots, 1 is gonna be your weapon, and the other 3 are probably just stuff you want to hold on to. So it's a fairly simple game when it comes to that. But yeah, so I'll make more progress in that. That's kind of it. I think I played Picross NP5 all the way through, and I went, yeah, that is one of the Picross NP games of all time. And decided to just subject myself to playing 6 right away. So hopefully the sleep. Oh, everyone got slept. We did get 2 hits with that though. A freeze is coming to Gotham. I can immediately tell this fight is not going to be worth it given the setup, by the way. Oh, this is gonna be pain. This is actually gonna be pain. Just let me get out of this one. Because someone's gonna cast Blizzard and I'm gonna be very unhappy. Not happy, Jan. There it is. I mean, everyone's still alive, but again, it's like... not happy Jan in the moment. Seriously, it's like... and then this one's gonna be annoying because they're all asleep again. Seriously, it's... these guys! You don't get a chance with them. You don't get a chance with them. You don't get a chance! Oh! And that was the perfect amount of damage as well. Well, we'll just wing it. We'll just continue on. We'll do the revive again, but... oh! Oh! Painful. That's not even a me being underlevel. That's a me being unlucky that, they managed to get so many people out of the fight, and then they're constantly juggling their attacks, so... how much money was it? 730? Like a walk of shame having to fight these guys, I tell ya. And they're stripping my MP. And they're just summoning new ones. This is what it's like to play the game single player, by the way. Or like single party. Which it technically works, and it does get you, you know, experience. You're not having to share it, so... but yeah, I guess Boom and other kinds of stuff like that are very killer. Oh, this hits everyone. Oh, I see. Look, I can afford the revive now. Isn't that weird that I spent the whole, like, first half hour of the stream, like, just kind of breezing through, and then it's like, oh. It just got very bad here, so... anyway, let's talk about a bit of hardware. I am now the, not proud, but just, like, I do indeed now own a Zotac Zone. The Zotac Zone is a gaming handheld. It's like a Steam Deck, but it's not a Steam Deck. It's the Zotac Zone. It's got a lot of things that are basically like Steam Deck adjacent. You know, obviously it's, it's got the screen, it's got all that jazz. This one's a bit curious because it's got 2 trackpads, but in software, unfortunately, it's bound to basically being... The left one is a scroll wheel that has a left and right function as well, and the right one is a trackpad. And I guess that's okay, but I think some of the nuance of the Steam Deck and the Steam controller is the ability to bind the trackpads to kind of interesting features in the games. I also hit B just then, so I gotta bump through the menu. Yeah, this doesn't quite do quite that, and kind of annoyingly as well, I actually don't think there's a way to rebind this if you're left-handed. You're sort of stuck with that one there. So, bonus points as well. The trackpad is not a trackpad according to the operating system. It's a mouse. So, I think that kind of couples in with why it's not rebindable in any way, because it literally just looks like a mouse, and that means you can't adjust the dead zone areas. That means you can't adjust where the left click and the right click, work, which, for reference, is kind of awful. It's kind of like the left click feels like it's more than a quarter. Like, you only have the left quarter of the trackpad to left click. You have to click very on the left side. If you're anywhere even just not on the edge of the trackpad, it's gonna right click, and that confused the heck out of me. And then on top of that, as you press in on the left side, your thumb is naturally going to just smoosh over, and your cursor will move over like 20 pixels to the right. I cannot click anything for the life of me on this thing. It is very difficult. I'd probably say that's the worst feature. It does have a gyro. I cannot bind the gyro to anything. It's just there to rotate Windows menus. That's it. Also, it uses Windows. I guess all of them do, except the Steam Deck. But it was kind of dreadful. I've not used Windows in this capacity before, and I've also not used Windows since they've stopped the bypass NRO feature, which... yeah, I'm going to look a bit more into. I've actually tested out just installing Windows Server on a server, just to test it out, and the answer is, please don't do that. Don't use Windows Server to get around, like, that, and to get around bloatware, because that's not the answer. That's not how you should do it. Although it is kind of interesting to have... the server there, and then it's like, yeah, like, it actually doesn't have memory stuff in the back. Like, I see a lot of Reddit posts saying, like, oh, like, it's not actually optimized, and it's not, like, great for that. But if you're, like, just obligatory running various Windows programs, it's like, well, kind of does what you wanted it to do, I guess. So, there is that, as long as you're very willing to, not install the graphical user interface, because I feel like that kind of really defeats the point at that point. But also, despite it not being a graphical user interface, it very much still does the window drawing, and obviously Windows draw on top of the terminal on the command prompt. So it is a bit odd, a little bit interesting to me, but yeah, no, the Zotac Zone took 3 hours to install the very first Windows update. It continually pestered me for a Microsoft account, and then continually pestered me to restore all my settings from one of my previous computers, because it didn't know that it was a very separate device. It thought it was the next computer. Like, oh, you stopped using this one, now you get to use that. It's like, no, that's not how this works. Some of that's a Microsoft thing, some of that I think as well, Zotac, just get on that, although if other devices have that issue, then yeah, sure. It's been a while since we've seen one of these guys, and it's been a while since I've been able to even have a crack at them, and it will continue to be longer. Anything else as well? I think that's it for the complaints. I think that's the big complaints. And I'd certainly say, for reference as well, these things are on very big clearance right now. So there were some really good deals. I think TechFast had a $700 one. I think some other store had $600. Look around. You might be able to find these things for a very, very, like a relatively very low price. Lower than Steam Decks, I guess. And Steam Decks, as much as I like the Steam Deck existing, they came out so late in Australia that I think a lot of people are unfortunately buying kinda older tech and they don't realize it. There's no word on a Steam Deck 2 just yet. Obviously, as technology keeps progressing as well, the Steam Deck is going to look slightly more and more irrelevant, which is a bit unfortunate. I believe the screen on the Steam Deck is... And let me actually double check the Steam Deck. But I believe the screen on a Steam Deck is 1280 by 800, isn't it? The OLED version is still the same resolution. It's still 1280 by 800. Ah, okay. But it is slightly bigger at 7.4 compared to the regular 7. Also, it's 90 Hz, which is nice. So there is that. But yeah, the processor is it's a fun custom processor. Like, it's literally a completely unnamed, it's not anything, any particular product, but it's a quad-core Zen 2 processor. And not to say quad-core is like that bad. Honestly, it's for a gaming handheld. I'm not actually expecting too much out of it. You know, like, whatever. But the Zen 2 part is certainly something of note, because we're up to Zen 5 now. Zen 6 is, I think, probably going to happen at the end of next year. We're getting there. And AMD seems to be coming out with mobile chips very quickly for after the desktop ones come out, so there is that. It's got 16 gigs of LPDDR5 5500, although the OLED's at 6500, which is nice. Which I always find is kind of interesting as well with Zen 2. It's like LPDDR5, but you did it with a Zen 2, which clearly would have been using DDR4 on the old memory controller, so that's fun. And then the LCD version either comes with a 64 gig eMMC, which is kind of rough, or a 0.5 terabyte SSD, and then the OLED, it's 0.5 terabyte or 1 terabyte SSD. So that's fair. The graphics are just an RDNA 2 module with 8 compute units on it. It says 5.5 to 8 gigs of VRAM. I'm like, that's it's integrated graphics, so it does what it does there. But as RDNA 2, the comparison point that one should probably make is with the 6500 XT, which has 16 compute units for the graphics. So power, or even actually try to pull the 6300, because the power limit on that one is actually remarkably low. Also, Rags now has Vivify, so at least I get a second option on that one. So, but yeah, usually I find it's not quite linear to say, hey, you know, one has 8 compute units and one has 16, therefore the 16 is double the performance because the power is also increased, and that's also not linear, and also you're relying on your game scaling, you know, horizontally in such a way. But generally, it's like, yeah, you know, like the Steam Deck is not too far off of a 6500 X. Well, sorry, it's half of what a 6500 XT is roughly, maybe probably a little less. And the 6500 XT is a little rough. I definitely thought that was such a kick in the face kind of release during the pandemic, because it's just like, this thing is dreadful. This thing is so bad. And then they had the goal to release an 8GB version of it, as if like that fixes anything. It's like, that thing is so slow. I remember as well, a lot of people were like, it uses a PCIe by 4 interface, and that's the big problem, and I somewhat get that, but then I'm also like, well, I do get it, actually. If you're doing games, it's like, well, you do want the full by 16, or you do want as much bandwidth as possible. It just helps a ton. Well, up until a point, and then it means nothing. So, it's like, you need it until you really don't need it. I'm so glad everyone's paralyzed in this fight. You got this, Rags. You got this. I think Rags needs to just go with a bang. Go with a boom. We'll see where we go there. Anything else on the Steam Deck of note? Yeah, the screen's a touchscreen. You got your two, you got your D-pad and your sticks on both sides. I don't know. I can't describe the triggers. It does have an accelerometer and a gyroscope. It's also got, yeah, 4 buttons on the grips. So that's something. And capacitive touch L3 R3. I think that's just normal. Yeah. No, I think it seems pretty ordinary otherwise. That's a bit unfortunate, isn't it? Yeah, I should have run. I really should have run. I had 2 opportunities to do it. The nice thing about getting wiped out like that is that technically it's not a kill. So I lost a bit of money, but I didn't actually... No one died, which is very curious. That's a bit of an odd one there. How many times have I died in the past, like, bit? Like 5 now? 4 or 5? It's happened. Anyway, so the Steam Deck's cool. Let me see if Zotac Zone even has... I don't think it has a Wikipedia page. No, I don't think it does. But the Zotac Zone also, yeah, it originally released at a rather high price. So here in Australia, the Steam Deck, which isn't... like, it's not that cheap at the end of the day, but I'm pretty sure you can get the base LCD model for 650 Australian. Now, obviously, with the SSD, or with the EMC, and also the fact that the screen is LCD, I think kind of the nicer thing to do is to get the OLED model, which starts at 900 Australian. It's a bit, but you do get a case, so there is that. The Zotac Zone, as I mentioned, can be found for less, and you might actually be lucky you get a bundle with the case as well, so that is nice. Because, I mean, you're obviously using this to play it on the go, right? I mean, you could use it around the house, but I'd probably say on the go is the very nice kind of scenario. But then, yeah, so what is in this Zotac Zone? Other thing I just want to complain about as well. It's got an integrated kickstand. It's really stiff. You get there in the end, but I do feel like I'm about to snap this thing out. And also, it's got this real obnoxious RGB strip on the back. You don't see it when you're playing on it, but everyone else will. That just seems so tacky, guys. I'm sorry. Like, if I could turn it off in firmware, I really would. I really want to know how to turn that thing off, because that is kind of obnoxious. That's it. That's my complaints. So, the Zotac Zone... Hey, where's the specs on this thing? Where's the specs? I'm on the official page, and they do not go into the specs at all. It's not at all. Well, Aftershock PC. We'll look at what they're listing here. Yeah, so the key part in it is that most of these handhelds used usually an AMD Z1. So AMD then formalized an actual processor chip to put in these things. The Z1 is, I think it's Zen 3 base? Let me just double check. Oh, sorry, yeah, the Z1 has 2 Zen 4 chips, or cores, and then 4 Zen 4C cores. The 4C cores, I believe, don't clock as high, but functionally they're the same. I think they can make them a bit denser because of the fact that they don't clock as high. Like, that's the reason why they're the way they are. I'm not too sure if they have any starved memory bandwidth or anything, but yeah, effectively you're getting a 6-core chip in there. They've also got the Z1 Extreme, which I will also just look up, as this is this is a hardware talk all of a sudden. Wow. The Z1 Extreme, I believe, is yeah, 8 full Zen 4 cores. So if you got a Z1 Extreme handheld, it's like you're doing pretty alright there. On top of that, the graphics on it is it just says it's RDNA 3 12 compute units. So let me also get RDNA 3 up, just so I can tell you exactly what 12 compute units relates to for Zen 3 core. I think the 7600 actually was the weakest desktop part on that one, and that has 32. So this is 12, this is 3/8 of that. I'd still say that's pretty alright though. It's closer than the Steam Deck is, I guess, to that level. So I don't know, I'd probably say that's alright. And then yeah, the power is, as I say, usually around 28 watts. The Steam Deck one is much less. I think it's like 15. So the battery life from the Steam Deck is actually pretty really good. But I guess the thing with the battery life, so the battery life on the Steam Deck is really good if you're slamming out the chip compared to slamming out the other chip. Because obviously if you can use more power, most of these handhelds, are, because of flight regulations, I believe, is the reason they can't they can't have too big a battery on them. I think laptops get more of a free pass, but they're still limited up to a certain degree. So ideally, drawing less power means you naturally get longer battery life. But at the end of the day as well, this is Zen 2 and RDNA 2. I think we've got... Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I think RDNA 3 was more efficient. I definitely think that was the case. And certainly Zen 3 and Zen 4 are much more efficient than Zen 2, so... Do these bots come at very particular points in time in the stream? I'm actually curious, because it seems to always be like an hour and a bit in. Maybe he's only up at a certain point in time. Oh well. But yeah, I think the OLED one actually does have a higher battery life as well, so actually maybe the OLED is just kind of de facto the one you should get. Also, don't forget as well, the screen will draw power. I know that kind of sounds obvious, but it's like, yeah, when people do the measurement, and then they get the processor and the graphics, like, unit power draw, and then they sum the two, and think the whole computer is drawing that much power. It's like, nah, man, the screen. Also, main character can finally heal more. Which is very nice. But on top of that as well, the memory can draw power, and the fan draws power. I'm pretty sure that thing's got a fan. Yeah, I mention this because now we go back to the Zotac Gaming Zone, and the Zotac, also that is the official name by the way, the Zotac Gaming Zone. The Zotac Zone, it just has an 8840U in it. An 8840U is just a laptop processor. This thing is, as they describe, an AMD Ryzen trademark processor for premium laptops. This is I think it's based on Hawk Point as the architecture name. Because the Z1 is just kind of like its own thing. It just exists on its own. But yeah, this thing has 8 Zen 4 cores, which allows us to compare it back to the Z1 Extreme. The cores clock the same as the Z1 Extreme, and we still have the same cache, and everything is basically the same. It really is literally the same processor. Like, I think exactly the same. Actually, bonus points. Let's go to the graphics. Oh my gosh, the 780M has the exact same number of RDNA 3 cores as the Z1 Extreme. I think we've just casually seen a rebranded Z1 Extreme. Someone at AMD will probably, or rather, a Z1 Extreme might be a rebranded this. Someone at AMD might potentially point out the differences. Maybe there's video encoding features that aren't on the Z1 Extreme or something like that. Maybe there's memory on the Z1 Extreme, like the way it maps memory out. Maybe there's that, but I don't know. To me, it's like, it kind of looks like it's the same thing. Oh, USB as well. Maybe that's slightly different. I'm really not too sure, though. I can't believe I got hit with a double paralysis already. I do like them taking the damage after hitting Biendeo though all the time. But yeah, no, it's got an 8840U, so that's nice. The other one as well is that the screen is an AMOLED. It's only 7-inch, and it does. I don't mind this as much, but it does have a very obnoxious what's it, bezel to it. Like it feels like the Switch 1. It's like what is this big thick kind of outline to it? And it's like in the screen itself. It's not even like, oh, it's up to the edge. It's like, no, it's like there's screen, there's black glass, and then there's black rest of the thing, and then there's the edge of the display. So you do feel like it's a little more cramped than potentially it could have been. But the screen is 1080p, which puts it on par with some of the better and bigger devices out there. But also, it's 120 Hz. But wait, there's more. It is also actually 144 Hz, and I will get more into that into a little bit, but you can literally just download a profile and it just works at 144. I have had absolutely no issues with 144. It just does it. It's great. So, that's cool. Yeah, obviously it's got the 780M graphics that's on the chip. It's got 16 gigs of LPDDR5X at 7500. This says megahertz. Don't say megahertz. It's mega transfers. It's double data rate. It's actually 3750 megahertz. But sure. There's always that. The battery is 48.5 watt hour. It could be that tad a little bit more, but I don't think you'd get more than, you know. Well, under load, I think you wouldn't get more than a few minutes. Under, I guess, something a bit more casual, maybe like 10 to 15 minutes. It'd be nice if that was, yeah. And then, yeah, you know, your standard affair. Wi-Fi 6E, all the other jazz. It's got 2 paddle buttons, although they seem to not work in Linux, and I guess that's the spoiler, is that, we are just using Linux on this thing. It has 2 USB ports, one on the top and one on the bottom. I have a Thunderbolt dock that I use, and this Thunderbolt dock just works right out of the box, both in Windows and in Linux. And that also can do a 4K 144Hz display out. I haven't tried 2 displays, but it does work with at least one, so... that's actually really nice that, like, you can just do that. If you have a Thunderbolt dock, it's like, oh, boom, there you go, easy. You can do it from either side as well. You can plug in your peripherals in a different dock or something like that. It's decently versatile, and I do appreciate that, for that one. Yeah, 2 trackpads is at least, like, well, you know, you don't have to use the sticks in, the desktop mode, although I'll probably toy around with, what would be the ideal workflow in a desktop mode. I do struggle with the on-screen keyboard. I don't find it's quite, like, natural yet. It always keeps blocking when I want to type on. I know you can move it slightly, but I can't move it in a way that it's, like, not blocking half the screen, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, it comes with Windows 11, but what you can do is you can just install Bazzite, which is designed for literally any AMD-based, well, really any x86 device, but AMD-based handhelds are its forte, and all of them basically play the same. I think they have to do some firmware-y things for some stuff, but yeah, this one isn't particularly a popular handheld though, so you don't get as much like explicit love for how to get this thing to work. I will continue to toy around, and I actually had another mate also buy this, so I'm actually helping him out, and he's helping me out, and he probably knows a bit more than I do about how to poke around with some of this stuff as well. But at the end of the day, I really just want to find like what's like the comfy setup, what's like the stuff that really works. But in terms of once you install Bazzite, it's like, well, okay, that does the Steam Deck, you know, game mode and desktop mode kind of split, and in the game mode, you know, like it's just literally running the Steam client. Like, I don't even know how you know, what's the stack they're actually running on, but it's like, yeah, you know, it's like having the Steam Deck experience, I guess. It's really solid. I'd imagine this would be literally as solid as any other Z1 Extreme device, except maybe it's a cooling thing, or maybe it's the fact that it's the laptop processor, but you can get it to just slam the power draw a bit more than, you know, maybe otherwise. But yeah, I gave it the Dirt 3 test to start off, because Dirt 3 is one of, it's not necessarily my favorite game, but it is such an amazingly scalable game that you can just keep running it at higher and higher resolutions, and it will just keep accepting that, and that's fine. So you have people testing it at 16K, and all this stuff. And frame rate wise as well, it's like, yeah, you just throw whatever frame rate, it'll do it. This passes the Dirt 3 test very easily, and also that's fun as well, running it on not Linux, and it just, you know, runs so nice out of the box. But yeah, no, it does an amazing job. You can power limit it, and you can do, you know, just under. I think you should drop like some settings, and actually that's the thing as well. And it's weird. It's like Dirt 3 is a very old game, or at least relatively. It's a 2011 game. We've had many more years of graphical improvements, but it's like, well, you know, once you smush it down onto a 7-inch screen, you can drop the, you know, like, shadows down a bit, you can drop your anti-aliasing down a fair bit. You don't need all this stuff cranked up all the way. I think maybe, you know, anti-aliasing on 2 times is probably, like, okay, just because you do get some softer edges. Because if you don't have it, then it's like, oh, you're kind of relying on your eyes and the responsiveness of the display to sort of get the aliasing out for you, which is, yeah, 144 Hz is actually okay, but on the slower titles, no, you can feel it. But that's an every system kind of thing. But yeah, like, yeah, you can drop some settings down, make it a little bit comfier on the you know, the graphics, and away you go. You know, running under a really low kind of power target, you could probably get like, you know, 3-4 hours is like, well, you know, and back in the days of the Game Boy, that lasted like 4 days straight on 2 AA's or 4 AA's even. And then it's like we've been slowly putting less battery in our devices while also kind of throwing more heat and more stuff at it, to the point that now, you know, like the Switch and all that stuff, that all has active cooling. We literally need active cooling in order to make these more impressive. I should have healed between those 2 fights, but that's okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, no, like, we're all in an active cooling day and age here. This has it's a bit of a chunky kind of device. I'd probably say, I think the specs say it's like, how would I put it? I'm gonna hold it for a moment. Yeah, it's like almost an inch thick. Like, I mean, if you, and also it has the sort of my my Wii U problem of you can't use it one-handed. It's too wide. It is definitely going to weigh down. Although I've not held a Steam Deck personally, so I can't tell you how the Steam Deck fares. But like the Switch, you can definitely hold the Switch in one hand, and it won't like kind of droop down out of your hand. It doesn't feel like it's the center of balance is too far off. I had that problem with the Wii U, actually. The Wii U was dreadful for that one. It was too heavy at the bottom, so the moment that you stopped holding it with one of your hands, it would really try to swing under you. So it sounds a bit nichey, but it's like, you know, like, that's the kind of scenario. I usually, like, take a hand off a controller, and if it's like, yeah, like, also, oh, the enemies didn't react. 1 turn to get a crit. Come on. Oh! We did it! We did it! We finally got the liquid metal slime. Only an hour and a half into the stream. We had the perfect setup. We had to get it there. Ah, such a good feeling. You're gonna see so much experience at the end. Unless this paralysis hits everyone. Oh, I hit 2 people, although it didn't hit the the two big damage dealers, but still, ouch. But yeah, so Banzai works really well, and then yeah, Dirt 3 works really well. I also gave PCSX 2 a go. You know, we gotta do some emulation. Gran Turismo 4 is always a jam, and 10 watts. You can pull it off. Now, granted, that is with hardware graphics rendering. I definitely feel that, and also this is at native game resolution and not 1080p. Certainly it would involve a bit more graphics oomph to get the 1080p output, and also if you ran in software rendered mode, you can do that, but you will be burning much more processor. Like, it is a remarkably higher power consumption compared to just use the graphics accelerated, you know, kind of rendering strategy. But yeah, no, you can do that in a very comfortable power target, which is very nice. Very, very nice. Other ones I gave Factorio, because I know that was a very big kind of Steam Deck ready game, and I don't know how it plays on a Steam Deck, but I can tell you it's... I've not played Factorio with a controller in general as well. It just doesn't feel right. And I think they've tried their best. I'll just say that. It does feel like it just takes longer to get things in the right places, in the right way. But the nice thing at least is that the trackpad, even though I said it's kind of trash, it's like there are some games. So for example, I tried Doom 1 and 2, i.e. the one that I played at the beginning of the year. And that actually really works nicely because, one, that game, all it requires, honestly, play with always run on, and then just use a button to, like, slow down if you need to. But, like, it needs one button for, like, walking, one button for opening doors and pulling switches, and one button for shooting, and then, like, if you want, you know, like, to switch weapons, I think it's bound to, like, left button and right button, actually. I think it's got that, and I kind of want to see if I can toy around with that a little bit, but maybe click the sticks might actually be the strat. Maybe I'll use that. But yeah, like, it really doesn't require too many buttons. You can easily take your finger off the right stick and then move it onto the trackpad underneath the right stick and start doing trackpad aiming, mouse aiming basically, and keep using the shoulder button to shoot. So that is that was an actually really nice use case, and I actually kind of like that idea of going from the relative aiming of the stick to absolute aiming with the trackpad very seamlessly. And I think any game that doesn't rule out using the mouse mid gamepad use actually implicitly benefits from those kinds of scenarios. It's actually really good fun. So Factorio also had the same thing. It's like, yeah, you know, you can use the controller all the time, but you can also start moving the mouse and clicking on things if you wanted to, or poking the touchscreen, which I think for the most part the touchscreen unfortunately only works like tapping the screen kind of thing, like this is where the mouse is, because I tried Civ 5, and Civ 5 has an explicitly, like, touchscreen mode, but I couldn't get anything involving two fingers to really click in. It was very much like it knew what dragging and tapping was, did not know what pinching was in any way, so I'll need to test that out a bit more as well, because that's a bit of an iffy. One other thing I just want to mention as well about this, is that there are two little flicky switches on the back that are, like, physical, like, mechanisms, and they change the triggers independently from the classic, or rather the more modern kind of, I say modern as if it's like, it's been a thing since the original Xbox and the Dreamcast and the, you know what I mean, but like analog triggers. It changes that, and it actually causes the triggers to then stop, like, immediately, like, really shallow kind of depth, and immediately send, like, well, one, have a whole click, like, there's a proper responsive clicky sound to to pushing the analog down when you've got the flicky switch on. And then also it sends basically like 0 to 32,767. Like it sends the full signal as if it were held down. So effectively it turns the triggers from analog to digital in a fairly compelling way. Like it's not like, oh, you know, it just changes it so it doesn't read anything other than full on or full off. It properly does feel like traditional clicky triggers, which is a really nice touch. And it's actually kind of great if you're playing like older games or anything that doesn't involve analog triggers of any kind. So I really like that. The D-pad is really clicky as well, the same kind of clicky. I'm not too sure if I'm sold on it. I worry it's very noisy for people on the train. I guess we'll gauge what's going on there, but I'm not too sure how the D-pad will fare out in public. It's definitely, though, like, it's not a painful D-pad. I've had very bad D-pads, and this is definitely, I can glide across it really nicely. So if I played fighting games, I actually think this will be quite alright. I think I tried Mario World, and also, yeah, Picross NP6. Picross NP6, or really all of those, has such a slippery D-pad control scheme, I actually kind of blame the game a bit more on that one. But it is still very much, like, it is slippery. It is still a bit slippery, even I don't know if the D-pad is going to save that one, but yeah. The sticks are very thick as well. I'm actually kind of surprised that they stick out more than my current controller I'm holding in my hand. Like, this thing's a handheld. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, other than that, that's kind of it. I think that basically hits every point. Once you go into desktop mode, you'll definitely realize that, like, yeah, it's tricky dealing with a 7-inch screen and trying to do, like, desktop features. Certainly if you can plug it in and just use a Thunderbolt dock. This thing is very, very just, like, competent as, like, the double-up system, because then, you know, I mean, it's not a laptop at that point, but maybe one could improv. Plug in a one of those portable monitors, and which I haven't actually tried mine. I should. Well, okay, both of them went. I had gotten one, and apparently I think the game is only going to ever grant me one. I'm actually surprised as well that it's like Aira's only level 29. We've only gotten 3 level ups this stream so far. And I thought it was like, oh, you know, I'll get to level 34 and then we'll have that heal all spell. Because I feel like this might be an entire stream of just kind of sitting tight and getting wrecked by wizards. I mean, we're already an hour and a half in, so... But, yeah, yeah, I'll give this thing more of a go. Would I absolutely recommend this? Well, I don't have a relative point of comparison, so I think my opinion is probably not as well-versed as others on this one. I can certainly tell you how it feels compared to other devices that I have indeed used or owned, and I guess in the grand scheme as well of mobile devices, it's actually kind of neat having that much grunt in a device that only did cost that much. The original launch price of 1,400 Australian dollars is definitely a much tougher pill to swallow, because at that point it's like, well, you know, like, it is nice to have it in this kind of format, because that means you can actually hold it and kind of use it a bit more portably than an actual laptop. Certainly laptops are cumbersome. I like the idea of these gaming handhelds, which you can then use as a laptop, or at least like plug in peripherals and just start using it as if it were a computer. I think sometimes they might have a bit more purpose than laptops do, but obviously a laptop is like, well, it's a device you can, you know, clam up and then slide into a backpack or something like that, pull it out, and boom, it's the best thing you can have to a desktop environment, because you've got your keyboard, you've got your means of, you know, scrolling around and using a mouse, and you've got a somewhat big enough screen that it does the job. That's what laptops do best. That's great. want to use a controller on it, the only one I can really suggest is the GPD Win, which hilariously as well, for some reason Kogan sells one of them as well. The GPD Win has the same, how would I put it? Yeah, you can get one of these for $13.39, which I guess is less than this. That has the same processor, although it's got double the RAM, so that is nice for that one. Another 1080p display, although I don't see a refresh rate on this, so I'm just gonna guess 60. We'll just guess 60. But yeah, also this thing is a lot larger. It looks almost like a Vita, because it's got like 2 sticks, it's got the D-pad, it's got the, you know, it almost looks like that. The screen actually slides up as well, so you could play it, like if you slide it up, then you actually have a physical keyboard in there, and that makes that device incredibly neat, because it's like, oh look, the on-screen keyboard doesn't need to exist anymore. Wow! That's actually pretty cool. But yeah, also, yeah, it comes in 1, 2, and 4 terabyte versions. Okay, okay, very interesting. And it's also got an Oculink port. Only one USB 4.0, but it does have a 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C as well. That'll be a 20 gigabit. This would be a good opportunity to heal as well. Let's go back, heal and save. But yeah, no, that thing looks very neat as well. It's certainly a lot larger though. Like that is not a fit in your pocket kind of device. That is a definitely fit in the bag kind of device. But that one's also really cool as well. I think they've got another one. Hold on, let me check as well. I remember I had a mate try to buy one of those, and then it was like, yeah, don't tell Australian customs about this. Declare that you only paid this much, please. It's like, guys. Do they actually sell these? Yeah, okay. I think it's the, not the Win. Or maybe it is the Win. Win. This doesn't seem right. Yeah, I think I'm on the wrong site. I went to GBD Australia. I mean, they are... Let me see. GPD Shenzhen. Here we go. Is this still it? Maybe this is it. Products. Maybe this was it. Ah, I didn't even know it looked like this. Okay. The Win Mini 7-inch handheld console. First of all, as well, GBD definitely, you know, like, being from Hong Kong, there's a bit of a language barrier in there, and they also love their serifed fonts. Yeah, this thing, it has, you know, it's a 120 Hz display, so who knows if it's really 144. Supports VRR. I don't know if this display supports VRR, actually. I haven't tested that out yet, so maybe I'll give that more of a go. Integrated quick release grip. Whoa. I'm leaving early. I'm leaving early out of this fight. I see this happening right away. New touchpad, no drift. So the form factor on the GPD Win, for the, because I can't show an image right now. Maybe I can. No, I can't, no. Is that it's sort of DS style. It's got the flip kind of top screen, although there's nothing on the bottom screen. Instead, the controls are 2 sticks in the top left and top right, and then arrow keys and ABXY sort of are a bit more inlay, and then right in the middle is a trackpad. You've got your shoulder buttons, and then sort of the bottom half is like a very miniature keyboard, and that miniature keyboard amazingly has arrow keys. They didn't even skimp on that. It has the F keys as well. Wow. Wow. That's very cool. They actually compare this as well with the ROG Ally, and they're like, yeah, you know, like, because of the clamshell, and I actually kind of like the clamshell, you know, like the laptop style for this reason, is that, well, the width doesn't have to be that wide, because these things are very wide. They are like definitely, I know a foot isn't an actual foot, but it is as big as my foot. It is very large. Hold on, let me see if as well if I can get that. Can I get the dimensions of the Zotac zone? I think this will probably help me describe exactly how this is. Here we go. 285 millimeters long, which yeah, it's 5 more than the Roggly, so I'll just say that. And then they're like, oh yeah, the GPD Win Mini, it's 172 millimeters. It's like, oh my gosh. Also, it weighs 555 grams, which is less than the Steam Deck, I think. We got Infirmost. Very nice. And they also draw a massive scale here. Is that a drawing, or is that a... How did they draw the scale? There's a div. I'm diving through their page layout in an attempt to find how the scale was drawn. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Oh, this is a tricky fight because we got these guys and they're probably going to wipe me out. Oh, never mind. Okay, whatever. But yeah, the GPD Win Mini, again, 8840U, so it's all that. Actually, they've also got a version with the AI9HX370, or the AI9365. Those are real processor names, I swear, but they're on Strix Halo, and Strix Halo has a much newer and generally a lot nicer of a graphics score. Like, actually, if you can get the one, like, yeah, the HX370, it's like, yeah, no, the processor is a little bit better than, you know, a decent bit better than the 8840U, apparently. I don't know if power is here or there on that one. But the graphics, it's like, yeah, 30% better. It's like, woo, that's a decent bump. So that's very nice. And then, yeah, so I assume they offer both of these. And then they're like, yeah, Win Mini is 17 to 80% stronger than the ROG Ally X. Which is a very bold claim, but yeah, no, with that processor, it's like, whoa, it could deliver some big heat. And that's exactly what the Zotac zone is on clearance for, because at Computex they announced a second one, and the second one looks kind of mostly the same. Maybe someone actually knows something a bit more about that than I do, but it does look very much the same on the outside, but they've got, I think, that AI9HX370 in there. I do worry that they're going to charge a bit for that one, but... as heal all, by the way, so now I can do some bigger healing, because unfortunately the existing healing doesn't heal enough anymore. It takes level 30 to get that. Yeah. So, yeah, but other than that, it's got all the stuff. I don't think this one has the Oculink port. Which is so, like, preemptive. Like, I don't know anyone who particularly uses an Oculink dock, but it would, you know, in theory, it is kind of the best way to plug in an external graphics card into these things, so... also very nice, they show off a lot of benchmarks as well, including games as old as League of Legends or Battlefield 4. That one's alright. But yeah, no, this thing seems very neat. I appreciate as well, they do indeed pull the RPCS3 test. That's always nice. That's what I buy these things for. Very cool. The controller is designed with 3-axis gravity sensing and 3-axis gyroscope, allowing for motion control gaming on PC. Yeah. The controller features a precise touchpad PTP mode that supports up to 4 finger gestures. I'm gonna run because I wasn't healing, and this is not the fight that I want to be in to experience that. It's like this trackpad, I don't think it's big enough for four fingers, really. But yeah, no, this thing seems neat as well. I guess the question is, where do you get one? The answer is Indiegogo, which is, I think they're, like, yeah, actually, can you buy it through this? Yeah, I think you can. There's not that many of them claimed, apparently, so I'm actually not too sure what's going on there, but, the, value converted from, oh, that's a gold price. Hold on. Because everything's in Hong Kong dollars. So, alright, the cheapest one is the one based on the 8840U, which effectively just puts it pretty on par with the device I just got. That is 11.96 Australian. Also, yeah, for reference, I've been saying Australian prices the whole stream, so if anyone heard me say $1,400 and then went, oh my gosh, what do you mean by that? Australian dollars, so really just like imagine like 60 or 70% of that, and that's the US pricing, so. Well, yeah, it kind of seems the same as the one that I've got. Not this specific device, but in terms of a device that performs that function, so. Then they've got two versions with the AI9 HX370. One's got 32 gigs of RAM and one's got 64. The 32 is $2,002. The 64 is $2,217. That's a lot of dollar. Both of them have 2 terabytes of storage, so it's definitely very nice in that regard, although, you know, I don't know, SSDs are not that expensive these days, so you can easily switch that out. But yeah, and that's where it's like, okay, like, you know, it'd be nice to have 30% more graphics performance, and buying something on clearance, you know, like, you are preempting the inevitable next device is going to be much better on the graphics. That actually seems to be the case. Like, Strix Halo, those processors, really good onboard graphics, like, really, really solid. But, yeah, for the price, you know, 2,000 Australian dollars. What can you get with 2,000 Australian dollars? You can get a Switch 2, 3 times. You could also just get a PS5, although that's not quite portable, but there's that. You could probably get this thing, like, 3 times in that mix as well, because it's, well, it wasn't too bad on that one. There's a lot of, it's, how'd I put it? Is that price difference worth the 30%? And I think the answer is probably not. I think it, especially in this handheld gaming market, it kind of plays okay to be in the more Nintendo position of just go with the tried and true architecture that is plentiful and isn't, like, I guess, so in demand that, you know, like, the price is really high. This thing is very bleeding edge, and I actually do like its form factor, and I like the fact it's got a keyboard. Also, that I guess the kind of awkward thing is that you have to sort of grip a bit of molded plastic to it in order to actually get it to feel kind of alright, because otherwise it's like, imagine holding a half-size laptop in your hands all the time, you know? It's a little bit odd, so I'm pretty sure these things are shipping on. Like, they're probably just sitting on these, and backers' money has already been made, so. But yeah, yeah, I guess, you know, how, why does it just sometimes not hit them? I feel like if it's a 0.5% or a half chance, missing all 4 of them just seems a bit absurd. Also, yeah, do I have num off on rags? Let's check. Let's check. Might as well just have another crack at that. Nix is just gonna have to attack, and you've got num off. You do, yes. Oh, now it hits. There we go. Yeah, at the end of the day, I think, you know, one, you should only buy these things if you're actually going to use a portable gaming device. If you have some extra utility for using it as a miniature PC, I actually do really like that concept, and I think probably you'd gain some extra utility out of these if you do find a nice use case with that. So my use case in particular is that I kind of like the idea of having something closer to a laptop. It's not quite a laptop, but it's close enough that, you know, you can start to, I don't know, do some things on it, download some files, put them onto a NAS, send them off to another machine that actually is doing some stuff, you know, log into Proxmox and start running some stuff on it. That definitely seems like something that's very feasible on this kind of device, or really any of these devices. And then, yeah, play a bunch of emulated games, play a bunch of somewhat newer games. The new game I gave a test of was the Talos Principle 2, which is not the newest game in the world. I don't have too many, like, very, very brand new ones on Steam. I really should start to get a bit more of a repertoire as they go on sale. But unfortunately, you get the whole, you know, Ubisoft is going to shut down the servers, and 2K is already apparently putting in some weird stuff in their license. It's all over the place, man, you know. You buy a new game, but like, that metal slime is gonna absolutely just bail right away. Kind of annoying that we got a first hit on the enemies though. He is dancing though. Oh. Alright, as much as I want to take out this thing, I feel like paralyzing two of my party members is kind of the line. We'll oh, nah, we're running. I can't deal with this if I can't get rid of the numb off. And I wasn't even gonna get that metal slime anyways, I tell ya. Oh well. Oh well. Come on, let me leave. I'll definitely take another crack at Baramos to end the stream, even though I'm not gonna get to the level that I particularly wanted to. This is a nice, chill, like, grinding stream is always a very chill kind of vibe, you know? Because it's like, well, the pressure is I want to get this done sooner than later, but the downside is, okay, well, I'm taking a bit longer than I should. I keep talking to him as if he can cure paralysis, but no, it's poison and curse. That's what he does. So, but yeah, no, gaming handle. Oh, I hit the fast forward button. I do have a bouncer left trigger. Very odd. Sorry for that one. Just sort of reactionary, like, oh, okay. I think I've had a bunch of keybinds also like change on me because I don't think the home button is actually working on me all of a sudden, so I need to toy around with that a bit more as well. Oh, we're pretty close to a bunch of levels pretty soon. Yeah. Yeah, ultimately, at the end of the day, yeah, you've got to find some use out of these devices before you buy them. I can't believe I hit A on this guy again. Could he read this any quicker? It's kind of annoying that you can say no twice, and that just ends the game without saving as well. That's a bit of a doozy. Yeah, we're off on our way. Other than that, yeah, I don't have too much going on otherwise. I guess, picking up like a... Oh. Have I gone way too far? I did, yes. I was like, it's nighttime. Today is Friday in California. Doesn't seem to be nighttime in this dungeon, though. Well, this castle, it's not a dungeon yet, but it gets to be one. we go, sitting up. No more shrimp posture check here as well. But yeah, no, I guess things have been pretty okay with me. I feel like there's a lot of very wild stuff going on in the world recently. I don't know, I get a lot of my news is very US centric, but also there's very not US news that is still very much how would I put it? There's a certain area of the world that has been very hot for a very lot amount of time, and it has particularly gotten into the news very recently. So I guess anyone living anywhere in that region, you know, like I guess a general statement out of stay safe, no matter where you are in there, and I guess I don't know, a lot of how would I put it? There's a lot of weird infighting. Not actually. Yeah, there's a lot of weird infighting. And it's not like, oh, you know, haha, look at these groups tear themselves apart. Because it's kind of like, there's a lot of groups that are like that. And also, I don't really think there's any, like, glee in, like, hey, you know, like, these people are hard disagreeing on stuff. Because one, it's like, well, you know, it's kind of good that they're disagreeing. I don't want it to be an echo chamber and, like, everyone always agrees on the same thing, I guess. Whether it comes to, like, social media or, like, other kinds of just conversations around that. But yeah, it certainly gets to this point where I think, especially on Blue Sky, I don't have a Blue Sky account, but I am seeing a bunch of like stuff trickle down to me, which maybe it is you know, like oh, these are the carefully curated posts that will give me that the impression that there is infighting going on there. Depends how widespread, I guess. Oh, we've got a free turn. Okay, I got two. I got 2 hits on A. C's fled. A's fled. D's fled. B's fled. Wow! Oh no, and he's cast defeat. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. And then he casts Blizzard. Oh well. But yeah, like, I am seeing a lot of, like, bizarre, sort of, like, you know, no true Scotsman, kind of like, oh, if you don't believe in this, then you weren't really a true person who believed in this cause, or something like that. And, it seems a bit tiring to me, because it's just like, why? One, I guess, I don't know, we're all sort of individuals, and, the internet is very much driven by a lot of individuals. I don't think it's quite like, you know, I guess communities are very much like a couple of common ideas, and not necessarily, like, things that aren't that idea are not necessarily going to be common. Not that, sorry, common in the sense of everyone has that opinion, and more, not like, you know, like, let's just say, you know, there is that conflict going on in that part of the world right now, and a certain camp of people say, oh, if you didn't support this side, then, you know, you're not really part of this cause. And I'm just like, you know, maybe more people than not probably would agree with them. Or, sorry, would agree that that side should win, or that side should do very well. But, like, do they agree that the stance of being with that side is also apparently a common opinion that everyone has to have it in this group? No. So, there's a lot of weird kind of, I hope it's just like devotism, like, or where's the stress in that word? Devotism? We're devoting into it, basically. I'm like, I don't think I've heard that word out loud in a long time. I've completely forgotten where the stress is. But yeah, like where, you know, where does your allegiance lie? And it's like, you know, like, there's probably a lot of people who are kind of just useful idiots in this space, where it's like, they preach towards it because they want their position and their group to get bigger and bigger, but then it's like, you know, like, hey, here's a bunch of people who have an opinion. Oh, we got another one. I'm surprised it took me that long, given that I've been using that axe the entire time. These guys are very annoying though, the double attack. I tell ya. But yeah, it's kind of odd. So, I would usually say around my very inner circles, we don't really have this like infighting. I think it's because generally we are of the stance of, you know, this doesn't change. You know, like we might disagree with each other on like topics like this, but it's like, yeah, what is our common ideals? And it's like, well, you know, a bunch of good mates who like hearing each other's opinions and cracking jokes at each other, like that kind of stuff, where it's like, you know, like whoever's opinion. It's kind of shocking I only got one level out of that, but I assume, you know, we just hit some levels for the other characters, so an extra 10,000 experience is definitely very welcome, but it's not quite there. Man, it's still level 30. It still gets to me. But I think it's like, hold on, like if I look up an experience table, I've got an experience table open on another monitor. Yeah, to get to 34, that's at 299,000 experience, and we're only at 201,000 here. Main character is probably going to level up even faster. I think warriors level up slower than the two, and then sages are much slower, so we're not expecting the same amount of experience out of these two at all. But what I am expecting is at least a little bit more vitality. That agility is actually kind of insane as well, because the item is doubling that. So it's base 71, which would be higher than these other ones. Look at all that luck carried over, the residual luck. That's the other thing as well, is that, like, I mean, once you get that ability at level 34, like, you're in the prime real estate to just, like, change classes, basically. Because it's like, well, you've got the good spells. What's the point in having metal slimes if they're just gonna do that, you know? Like, and they move faster than, I think maybe you might be able to move faster than them, but, like, you are very much beholden to them getting a turn before you even get a chance, so that's always the case. But yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of weird conversations. I'd call it weird. I really do hope it is just like non-malignant kind of you know, like, oh, I just want my group to succeed kind of rhetoric, because then I guess from most positive to least positive takes on, like, why do people get into fights with others. I guess, like, you might have people sort of being useful idiots, where it's like they get convinced that they have to be vocal about a cause that they don't necessarily have much stake or knowledge into, and then they just kind of start fighting with others on the internet about, you know, like, does it really matter at the end of the day? Well, probably not. It's just a bunch of people on Twitter, you know. Do we really need to shout at each other too much? I don't know. But then you start getting the ones that are the ones who start slipping that, you know, appealing to the useful idiots, and they start slipping in sort of ideas and tidbits and maybe even facts that aren't necessarily accurate. I won't say untrue, because sometimes you get instances like that where it's like, oh, this is like, you know, he said everything and it's technically correct, it's just not this. This is not like the scenario for that, or it's like, oh, the impact of it isn't actually quite that great. Happens all the time. I think the easy thing that I've seen has been, especially around this scenario again, has been fake AI footage of, I guess, the destruction or the impacts of things. This is one of those encounters. We're not getting into that. And the fake AI videos are remarkably obvious. Like, they have the tell. If you've seen enough AI videos, you'll go, oh, okay, like, it's over-sharpened in various places. The color grading very much leans towards what they've always used here. There's lots of tidbits that you could probably, like, pick up on and be like, oh, okay, this is, like, clearly you know, not real. But then there's quite a bunch of them, and this is always the traditional misinformation angle, is to show a clip of something entirely different. I saw one clip of a massive cloud of fire, basically, on the street. A bunch of people, you know, like, kind of watching in shock as the fire is just sort of like, you know, it's like a pipeline. It's like something bursts in the street, and it's just like spewing these massive flames. This was in somewhere in China, because there's a billboard that's in Chinese, and everyone in the video looks Chinese, and someone decided that, no, yeah, you can find that exact video, and it's posted in Chinese. That's the gist. So it's like old video, tried to reframe it into a new context, but it's like, well, that's not actually like what happened at all. I guess claiming that it happened in this scenario is definitely a lie. But if you just show the clip no context, well, I guess it is a thing that happened. But oh well. So, I guess my advice is keep your wits about you. Don't let anyone convince you of anything in one sentence, even if they care a lot. I mean, I guess, like, if you're actually involved in this in some way, whether it's, like, your actual occupation. Shout out to the people at the Pentagon who have to keep buying pizza all the time. But, like, yeah, I guess if you're actually involved in this situation, then this advice doesn't apply to you. But for the most part, never hurts to be a bit patient with the facts. And by the facts, I mean, by having your own opinion be shaped in the way that you want it to be. Because what is a fact, you know, some people will say can get a bit arguable, basically. Something that they might claim happens is like, oh, the other side kind of says like, oh, maybe not. And that happens quite a bunch. And there's no, oh my gosh, missing everything with the boom again. I don't know, maybe this is a bit broad, maybe this is a bit like, oh, you know, wishy-washy, like, oh, of course. That's like saying, like, what's the one? Saying you want world peace is always a classic, because it's just like, well, I would like everyone to get along. Well, how do you get everyone to get along, you know what I mean? It's like, very much like a lofty expectation. That doesn't mean that you want destruction or you want, like, warfare, but it does mean that it's like, yeah, like, you know, what is realistic? And it's like, well, both are unrealistic, and one is morally not a great one, I guess. Whereas at least, like, world peace is like, oh, you know, like, if we can get to that point, maybe. But oh well. But yeah, I don't know. I did see a bunch of stuff on my timeline that was just like about this, and it's like, well, like, what am I, not what am I meant to do, because I think some people are gonna, like, be like, oh, just here's a donation link. More like, where... This is such an eggshell statement, because I think there's probably people out there who it's like, if you are affected by this, you will have a much stronger stance than me, who is currently not affected by this. But I think more it's like, what value is there gained by me being, like, involved? I guess, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like social media is trying to get me, like, involved, and I'm not, like, too sure what the aim is. What's the target? Ah, there goes that one. Oh, but we did get another one. I gotta scream every time. Alright, we just gotta survive two wizards constantly casting Blizzard. King Wizard and the Lizard Wizard. Who, by the way, have released not only an album, but also 6 live albums that are all 6 hours long each in the past month. Those fellas, I tell you, I cannot understand how you can master and produce a live album in such a short amount of time, let alone 6 of them. I think they're just prepped for it, maybe. Maybe that's the secret. Is to just be absolutely ready to record everything and mix everything Or you have a team of people and it's like, ooh, you know, we only have to... We've got 12 people mastering it this way, and you only have to, you know, do a bit of it at a time. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't have too big thoughts on it, and obviously as well, I've been not getting that many medals out of this situation as well, which is kind of odd. But yeah, I really want you know, the best outcome for everyone in there. What is it? Can't tell you exactly, but it's not a fun scenario in there, so that's all good. Well, not good, sorry. Hopefully it will get better, I guess. Okay, I'm starting to sweep these enemies now, like, because remember, I came in here at like level 25 or something, 24, 25 last stream. Now we're up to 32, you know, we're starting to sweep along. Really getting the stats. And I mean, my equipment is all ready. I'm ready to take out Baramos when I feel like it, but unfortunately, I still don't have a heal all. Because yeah, he's gonna hit everyone with the flame attack, and if I don't have the ability to heal everyone, you know, for a certain amount, I guess strat 2 is have both Rags and Rags doesn't have the agility. I guess that's the sort of kind of iffy part. Do we move the toughness medal onto... Yeah? Maybe? I don't know, I'm sort of tossing this in my head. We'll see. But certainly we got a lot more defense. I think that will save from some of the stronger attacks. And, then yeah, just hope for the best. And we've got heal all as well, so I could rely on that a bit more. But yeah, it's like, oh, I'm starting to like just sweep these enemies here. So, how about we'll have a crack at 2 hours 30. Everyone likes a good old grinding stream as well. It's kind of scary as well, because I saw like things saying, oh, you know, like you could beat the game at around level 40. And then people going like, yeah, at this point you gotta be able to just you know, take him out like how you gotta get up to the mid-30s in order to get past here, and it's like, oh my gosh. There we go, let's handle that there. Yeah, so what is there excited, sorry, what is there to get excited about in the future? There's one more stream of the month. We have a June 30, so that'll be there. And then, yeah, other than that, we're in July. We're past the coldest, or the shortest day of the year, so hopefully it's getting warmer and warmer. We've actually had a very nice day in Sydney as well, which is quite nice, but yeah, it's, you know, not too sure what's, like, the next thing on the agenda to really look out for. I guess just chilling for the rest of the year. Try and do some cool stuff, play some cool games. Hopefully I'm at the end of some of the games I'm playing as well. It's so annoying to have everyone fall asleep like that as well. And then have 2 of them wake up immediately. Oh, 3 of them wake up immediately. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I do think we've got the Steam Summer Sale happening in a few days. Also, Sabasana. We've got a very nostalgic feeling VTuber coming along. I think on Saturday or Sunday. I think maybe Saturday. I think it's Sunday our time. So that'll be good fun, and a lot of people. I guess the rule of thumb is as well, if there's a especially for VTubers, just because they sound like someone else doesn't mean their character is that someone else. I'll just say that. So Because that always comes up, and I think having someone just tease their like existence and then casually get 100,000 YouTube subs immediately is just because it's just like they are a popular person is very much, you know, like a sign that you know, that, well, I guess a sign that they are very popular. I'll just say that. But man, having a silver play button like that early. Does YouTube have any other requirements, or is it just like you get 100,000 subs and then they ask for your address? I think you've also got to be a partner. So I guess Saba-sama's gonna have to wait on that one. Saba? Sabi? I don't even know. She'll say it out loud and then I'll register in my brain. My brain is like letters. Letters. Yeah. I've been secretly yawning a bit throughout the stream, and I cannot explain why. Some early night sleep, maybe. But, yeah, no, I'm definitely at the, like, ooh, flickery eyes kind of part, which is... It's a bit weird, because, like, I'm usually one where it's like... how I'll put it. So when you're tired, you got a range of symptoms that start kicking in. Yawning is one of them, and I cannot explain what yawning even is. Oh my gosh, there it is again. Ah! This is dragging myself out. But, like, I don't feel that crazy tired. Like, I definitely, like, cognitively, my brain's still pretty there. Usually my brain's, like, one of the last things to sort of feel the need to sleep. Which is maybe the worst one. I'd prefer to feel, like, tired than to sort of, like, not feel tired. But then it's like, well, you know, the eyes are a little bit more kind of hazy. They like to sort of self-shut a little bit. And then, that's kind of it. I've usually found in these streams, it's like, I'm talking for so long in the soliloquy format that, you know, you definitely feel you feel a bit of like, okay, I've been talking for a bit. If anything as well, that probably helps me stay up a bit as well. Because, I don't know, you're always thinking about what to say, what to do. Easiest way to fall asleep is to just actually be in silence, I guess. I can't sleep with noise, though. I used to be able to, like, just absolutely, like, just snooze with noise, but nowadays it's like, yeah, you know, like, kind of keeps me up. But, yeah. I'm curious what my strategy for Baramos is going to be then. I think we're gonna have to... Yeah, we need a Sapper's Defense. And then, I guess... It was, what was the one? There was one ability I know I've got to, like, absolutely spam using as well. Barrier, I think. Which is level 32. I don't have Barrier yet, but... I will have it. I will definitely take a crack at using Barrier. And then, yeah, I don't know. We'll sort of just ride that. Protect, from fire, which should really help out there. And then, yeah, just try to keep up, try to run it, I guess. So I'm level 31 here, and how much experience is that? 226,000. I think the number on this thing is, where's it gone? Where is it gone? Is 231. So another 5,000 experience, which is half a liquid metal slime, or you could just keep fighting a few dudes, and I don't know, we'll have a go. We'll have a go. But yeah, grindy stream is grindy. I still don't trust these dudes. I mean, Blizzard is still kind of gnarly because, you know... It's a lot of damage. There we go. But yeah, other than that, it's the same fight again. Except they spewed fire this time. And blaze more. Can I run again? No? Yes? No? I don't want to get just casually taken out by two of these 4 evil mage encounters in a row. At some point, maybe it's actually better to just go in for it, but they were casting damaging spells when it was the battles where it's like they spammed paralysis. Actually, they didn't do paralysis. When they spammed sleep, and then it's just like completely take me out of it there, I tell ya. But yeah, like even Air's doing a decent amount of damage. There's Rags with, sorry, that was next with 222 on the crit. Main character 112, Rags is doing like 50. Yeah, it's like solid amount of damage coming in nowadays. And granted, I also gave Rags that Orochi sword, so that's definitely helping out a bit there. But still. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Things are chill. I think I've really gotta find out how to use this Zotac zone a bit better. I explained using Bazite, and installing it was pretty alright. I had to look up one thing, which was Windows wouldn't like unlock itself from the drive. The drive kept saying, oh, you've got like suspended memory in there, like, oh, you know, we can't get rid of it, like that kind of stuff. And you had to just do some commands to just like absolutely force it out of that mode. Just like, oh, I don't care, just completely blank wipe the drive. I mean, it's just running Windows, like nothing stops you from just, you know, reinstalling Windows in your own way and then downloading, you know, firmware and other kinds of stuff. I don't need the specific, you know, like way that it's implemented on this device. They'll probably be like, what do you mean it's like not the out-of-the-box solution? I'm like, that's fair, but yeah, stuff it. Let's have a crack at this. Yeah, air doesn't really do that much damage. I should probably have a backup kind of spell. That is very annoying that Broom just does not do what it really should be doing, but sure. Well, we'll just fight. We'll just fight the rest. But yeah, keep an eye out on how much experience these guys give, because, I mean, that's 4 of them, and that's spread across 4 party members, which means that's the amount of experience per one of them. Unless I die on the way. No, we're good. We're good. 1650. That's a decent amount. But it just kind of feels like it's a bit more effort. I have this problem in Xenosaga as well when I play it, where it's like, there's just some enemies, and it's like, oh, they're so much slower than other enemies. I just have so much trouble taking them out. Maybe I'm using the wrong party members. Also, hi! Where was this encounter for the past 2.5 hours? We'll see what happens, I guess, but like, barely about to hit level 32, and then suddenly, oh, look at that! Easy money, easy experience. This whip is useless, though, I tell ya. That would have been so nice to have 1 crit kill in there. Because, oh no, A's still attacking. He's still here. Oh! That's a Biendeo crit as well. That's not a Nyx crit. That would have been great if there was a Nyx crit in there. Oh well. Still, one of them. So air is now 32. And now I know barrier, so... Okay, let's cast a return to... Let's go to Aliahan, because I'm going to go to the bank. I should be going to Aliahan all the time. It makes a lot of sense. It's like, well, I've got the bird. I can leave stuff at the bank. I can save here. The inn is free. I guess there's no church. Like, reviving is not, like, here. You know, I can leave my money. Which will definitely be useful later on. Actually, no, the church was upstairs, is it not? Also, this person doesn't tell me how much level I need to level up, which means it goes so much quicker. And they don't prompt me to quit. Yeah, I completely blanked on the church, if it even is here at all. But that's okay. Yeah, did we not have a church here? Like, there's an inn, but then it's the most useless inn in the world. Nothing says inn more like free real estate. Okay, so now, here it is. The attempt you've all been waiting for. 6 levels later, can I fight Baramos? This will be the test of time. I've got to get through the dungeon first, don't I? As well. There we go, so... Not this place. But all the way over. Far across the ocean. I guess it is a further flight. A little bit more north. There we go. Okay, time to fight through the dungeon. I've completely forgotten which direction we go in. I'm pretty sure it was... No, I think it was into the front door, and then we go down, like, not up here, I think it was the left staircase. Because you'd keep dancing around here unless you actually went into the below floor. Nope, that's where the dead guy is. Oh, sorry, yeah, it was just completely around the outside, was it not? Well, we'll get there. I'm dealing lots of damage to these fellas, so it shouldn't be any sweat to me now. Yeah, did Air have more than 100 health by the time I went into this dungeon the first time? I don't think she did. They really do like Air on this one though, don't they? Showing a bit of skin in there. I see what you're doing. You're stepping in on my girl. I know what they're doing there. It wasn't the staircase down here, although this would lead to... Ooh! Listen, I wouldn't mind a fight like this if one of them stuck around. Come on, come on. I want to get a nice kill. Oh. That's a bit mean. Yeah, that's a bit mean, getting confused and then casting Zap and losing my magic. And there's the blizzard. There's another zap. What? Spamming magic on the wrong people here. I'm riding this one through. I don't care that he's casting Blizzard like every turn. That Metable is just chilling right there. I could just get a natural kill on this thing. This confusion is very fun, how I've been hitting myself every time as well. That's good fun. I think I did like 6 damage. Well, that's good fun. That lost nearly all of my health on that one. That's what Heal All is for. And then I'm gonna cry if I run out of magic in the middle of the fight. All because I went down the stairs here instead of just the way I needed to go. Listen, I haven't done it for 2.5 hours. I've completely forgotten that I had to go around that wall. Ugh. But yeah. Yeah. I don't know, usually I have a plan. Usually I have like a thing that I want to do, but other than that, it's mostly just the personal stuff. I don't have any updates on the game stuff. So, I'll get around to that. I'll definitely try a bit more and get around to that. But yeah, no, it's mostly just been finishing up the stuff that I've got, and then yeah, toying around with this thing. I feel like I'm DSP. It's like it's got this. How do I put it? I don't watch him enough to really be able to rip on him, but he always seems to keep having like these new kinds of gadgets, new tools here and there, and it's like, at the end of the day, it's like you're just showing, how would I put it? Like it's you in the corner on a green screen playing a game at the end of the day. So like, as long as it's just the game and your captured device, you know, like that's kind of all that you need in order to make what you do. But he seems to keep, especially like using a driving wheel, like getting a racing wheel recently. I'm like, man, it's nice as a hobby thing, but it's like, it's not his thing, right? Yarr. It's so annoying to get the paralyzed there as well. And then for health, it's like, yeah, a bit of ouch on everyone there. How did I get through this? Oh, no. I'm not dealing with that one. I know I need to cast a safeguard at some point. We'll get there eventually. Stone Man. Yeah. Oh, is there anything else of note? It's kind of that. It's kind of chill. There was that one, this one post going around on my timeline of like, I forgot the name of it, but it was basically like a checklist of various like big animes that came out each year for the past like 18 years, and it's like, man, I've only watched like 5 of them. It's a non-zero amount, but it's not a particularly large number. So maybe that's a sign that I need to, I guess, yeah, watch a bit more. So, might get there. Was it left one or right one? It was right one, wasn't it? No, it was left one. And then it was up. And then it was down again. And then you're immediately like... No, you're in a garden. You go straight up through here. And then you're... up here, and then you go down, and before you do that, yes. Okay, I was like, which way? Which way? Do I remember? Which way? Yeah, you have to step guard there, and then there's a guy here who is... door down the bottom. Went a fair bit of distance. Also, more metals, liquid metal slimes. Went a fair bit of a distance without an enemy there. This is when the whole party just casually dies. Because I've just let these these ghosts chill, casting defeat. That's just painful right there. That's kind of fun. The physical metal. The physical attack there, and he took 2 damage back. Unfortunately, I think he's probably going to run on this one, but... And there's Blizzard. It's because I'm so gung-ho on getting that liquid metal slime that, I sort of put my own livelihood at risk. I was gonna run, but I'm pretty sure I could just defeat these ghosts. Yeah, I was like, you've already casted defeat. You can't double up on that one. And here we are again. Still dying and having to revive. Oh, don't burn all my magic on this one. Yeah. Also, did you like how before I had heal all, that prompt would last quite a while? Because it's just like you're having to constantly keep casting heal more. And now it's like you only cast heal more if you don't need any, you know, any more than a heal somewhat. Okay, so I think we are healed. I've got much less magic than when I entered, but you know what? It's the best we're gonna have, I guess. So, and I need to cast Step Guard one more time or else... Ouch. You dared to defy Baramos again! Alright. So have another crack at this. So, what was my strat? The strat was we need to sap him, don't we? I do have a couple of stopgap abilities, although I actually don't think I have anything other than casting Stop Spell, I guess, as a potential there. We need to cast Barrier is the big one. Nyx is just Attack City. And it's... Is it upper? Is it the one? I think it's upper. Sorry, not upper. It's increase is the one, I guess. But also, I think I'll just probably use the Orochi sword. And we'll see if this goes there. So Nyx is going to attack 74 damage is a decent bit, but Explode It's going to do a bit of damage to everyone. Well, I mean, it is a fire attack somewhat, so it actually kind of works out a bit more okay. But yeah, there's the damage. Stop Spell didn't do anything. At least that worked. Okay. So then we just go for the best. We try to heal. I think I can cast increase as well, just to help out here. And yeah, we hope for the best. But hopefully with the Yeah, so the insulate should really help with the flames. Yeah, like it's a bit of a doozy, but it's not too bad. And then these two should be able to deal about 200 damage every turn. So as long as I'm able to sort of keep the healing momentum going, then that's okay. That's okay. So heal more. I am gonna heal air just because I do trust air a bit more with the healing. That was a decent amount of damage. Oh my gosh. Also, there's a crit. Woo. Okay, I'm feeling a bit more confident. Just a little bit more, but still. Let's get that going, and now Rags can get the heal. Because, yeah, Nyx needs to be able to, like, tank stuff. Panic all... Yeah, it shouldn't affect. As long as he's spamming random attacks, it's a bit more okay. Air can heal more on Biendeo. Nyx can just attack. Rags can cast. Could be cheeky. Could cast bounce at the end, but yeah, I don't think I really have any other ones. If anything, as well, actually, I might go back to air and let's get which one's the one? Speed up. There you go. And then we can get a heal more on Biendeo. This might help a bit as well. Oh, it seems to be fast enough anyway, so... Okay, let's go back to the heal more here, and honestly, I don't know, just use the Orochi again. See if we can drag some more defense down, or renew the defense down, because I think, well, he's still kind of taking the damage here. Okay, here he is, double attacking now. Let's make sure air gets a bit of healing this turn as well. Both air and Rags. Ooh. A little more defense. Very nice. I think this should really help, actually. Yeah. This is some real solid damage. This is good stuff, actually. This is looking very hopeful. Heal all Biendeo. Next, yep. And let's make sure we've got increase in case it goes for another physical attack. Oh no. I mean, it's not like he drags it down, and I don't particularly... I still have no idea off the top of my head if this wears off over time. There's the flames. There we go, so let's make sure air is back up to speed, and same with Rags. Even though I know Nyx is sort of competent there a little bit. There you go, so now we do a heal all on Nyx. And I don't know, I mean, like, this is sort of a free turn I've got here, so... Oh, I'll just go for an attack, why not? I'm feeling a lot more confident on this one, though. Seriously, we're getting wiped out immediately. Oh, but there's a miss. Oh, snap. Okay, what do you do about confusion? Because I'm like, I think he's got to break out of it at some point, but that's not fun. That's not fun at all. Okay, that's okay. That's okay, we can recover, I guess. Crit is good. Yeah, that's not gonna be fun if he's internally fighting like that. And also, yeah, losing another healer. This is getting a bit tense now. I'm not liking having a confused party member there. I would like this boss fight to be done very soon because I had a real good run just then. And I don't want this to be casually ruined like that. Oh, stop! Dude, I'm now sweating, man. I'm very worried here. Cause I can't deal with the damage here. You know, I don't have a heal. Oh, it's like the one character. One character you needed to make it. Oh, there we go. We did it! We did it! I got there. Woo! No one died. Technically. We were so close to losing it there. I was like, I think I could have had maybe like 1 or 2 more turns. Oh, you Biendeo! I will never give up! Ah! There we go. A warm light fills the chamber. Biendeo's party was fully restored. A mystic voice is heard.
Biendeo, Biendeo, hear me. You have fought bravely. Now return to those who await you.
Whoosh. That's such a fun effect. And yeah. We go home. Oh my goodness, Biendeo's back. The hero. The hero's back from defeating Baramos. Yay! This means peace at last. Bless you and thank you, Biendeo. There we go. You can talk to these people. They've already heard. Hurry to the castle. Amazing. Yeah, unfortunately, he still sells items to me, I guess. You defeated the Demon Lord. You are a true hero. Wow. Hurry, the king's waiting. Okay, off we go. Ah, Biendeo, you are truly magnificent for slaying Baramos, the Demon Lord, or take his daughter has triumphed. The entire kingdom sings your praise. Come, let us all celebrate. We'll get our lovely celebratory routine here. Oh my gosh. Well, it's not really a trumpet sound, but I'll accept it. No, not left trumpet. This is like a classic RPG bait and switch. Coming in right here. Look at this fella. Wahaha, did I startle you in your moment of celebration? My name is Zoma. I rule the dark world. So long as I live, this world too shall be smothered in darkness. Suffer and despair for me. Your suffering is my joy. All that has life shall become my sacrifice. The world will know despair. My name is Zoma, the destroyer of all. I will savor the day when you are sacrificed to me. Wahahaha. So, yeah, casual fake out ending. Just some bigger guy just shows up, you know. How could this be? I thought that peace returned. How could I tell the people that darkness will soon be upon us? Biendeo, Zoma, the Demon King must be kept a secret. I'm tired. You may go. Okay, sure. It is a terrible thing. His Majesty has lost his will. I will stand in his place for a short while. And this guy lets you save, so... What a great place to save. So we still have more game to go. There's a decent bit left, but we're not gonna get like brick walled like that. Maybe one last final boss, but even though that I sort of just grinded and fought one boss in the stream, it was a worthwhile investment, and we got there in the end. We got there in the end with a pretty tense fight, so I'm happy there. Anyways, with that, I would like to thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, or you didn't enjoy it, it was a lot of rambling, I'm sorry, then you can, you can subscribe on Twitch, or follow on Twitch, it's following, technically, where 8:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time on Mondays, I'll do another stream. And, if you missed part of this, or want to watch more of it, VODs are on YouTube, because apparently Twitch only lets you hold so much video anyways. So, yeah, that probably bit a lot of people at the time. And yeah, you can follow me on the Fediverse, where you can see some ramblings about insane things here and there. Yeah, other than that, I'll let you know how this thing goes. How this, I guess how this Zotac zone. It comes up alphabetically at the bottom of everything. I'm not too sure if that was an intentional thing or not. Oh well. Anyways, have a good one, fellas. Peace.